Hello everyone, I'm Defish3004. I'd like to welcome you back to Stario Haven Tower. So I did get a Steam key and I thought that I would try this game out. The developers were kind enough to give me a key, so we're going to go ahead and try this game. We did a little bit before we did the demo and it seemed pretty interesting, so let's go ahead and start up a new game. People once believed the Golden Age would last forever, until the world-ending sandstorm swept across the land, bringing civilization to ruin. Only those who hid in Down City escaped the catastrophe, clinging to life. But in the prophecy, gather the 7 stars, forge a sacred statue, and calamity shall be quelled. Glory of civilization reborn. And so the first explorers set out. They vowed to build a sky-high tower towards the unreachable stars. Okay, so there's a few places you can do. You can do a hard or a challenge. We're just going to go ahead and do the default. I did do a little bit, so enter the storm. Okay, we're on default. So we just press enter the storm. And now we are at our first tower. So again, you can use W to go up, S to go down, A to go left, D to go right, and then you can use your middle mouse button to go up or down, and then you use your right and your right mouse button, to look around, and your left mouse button can click on things and stuff like that. So we can also use the scroll to go in really close, and we can really see what's going on, and we can go up, and that way we can really scroll in and see all the different things, all the huts and all that stuff, which are these right here. These houses are the huts, and that's what we need to build. So double click a building to focus on it. Okay, so this is a tower tizen, which is kind of like a tower citizen, which is what I call them, and that's a hut, and then the housing info, and then we can upgrade requirements, 60% food, 60% water, and looks like 100% happiness, which don't know if we'll actually get there. I don't know anything about any of that stuff. I haven't done much of that. I've just played a little bit of it not that long ago, just trying the game out, making sure it's going to be okay and all that stuff. And then press the F key to refocus on the tower body, so you can do that. If you want to get rid of this screen, just left click out there and you'll get rid of the screen. Open the build menu in the bottom left, up in the upper left it says. Open the up in the upper left telling us what to do. Open the build menu in the bottom left, build 6 dew collectors on the outer side of the tower body. So it can be anywhere out here where there is room to build, and it's going to have to be pretty much in line or above where these are, but you can't build, of course, on top of there. You have to have other structures on top of there. So we're just going to go ahead and do the dew collectors, which are these right here. These collect dew, obviously. And we're just, so you can build these up a little ways up, but you don't want to have them in the way of other things you're going to be putting up on top of here. So I'd like to have them a little bit more down from, what I typically would do. So I'd like to have them right in line with that, because if I build them up there, if I have a bigger place, I can't put the stuff on there. You'll see about that in just a little bit. You can, however, have these stick off the edge a little bit, so you can do it like that, and they will stick off the edge a little bit to give you a little bit more room to work with. We need 6 of these. I am going to go ahead and put some here and there. We can't build one off of this edge because it's being blocked right there. But we can put one right there, and maybe we'll put one off that edge. That's 4. And we'll stick one off that edge, and we'll put another one right there. Okay, so now those are being built, and it's built by all of this stuff here. So we can click on that, take that off. All of this stuff right here that you can see, so that is water and sea buckthorn, which we'll talk about after a little while. Sand brick, which we don't know about yet right now. Planks, wood, logs, planks, and then dust, which we'll get to all that stuff a little bit later. These are all the first things, gifts from the Down City. So the tower citizens have brought some resources from the Down City. Here you can view the inventory for each tower layer. Buildings of the same layer can directly use these resources. So anything on this layer can use those resources directly until you get up higher and you can do more things. Okay, so we have that. So we can just go and close that. Now it wants us to build 2 plantations, which are right down here. And you can see that it has that leaf thing for the resources, and here is the processing. So there's also processing plants like a woodcutter station. There will be more stuff later on. Residents we can't do anything with right now, and logistics, research, and decoration we can't do anything for the time being. We will soon enough. All right, and the plantation. So we can put in a couple of plantations. Maybe we can put in a couple plantations. Maybe we can't. Looks like there's not quite enough room. So we may have to move these things if necessary, because we're probably just going to have to, because I didn't think about the plantations and how big they are. So we can move that. That's not that big of a deal. We can go down to here, and then we can dismantle like these things, and we can move them. So we can get our stuff back. So we need 2 of those. So what I'm going to do is just go to the do collector. So it's easy enough to see how to do different things like dismantling things. Let's just go ahead and put on 2 of those, like maybe that should work. We may have to move these ones over here too. We will see what all happens. Now we can put on a plantation, and he can actually hang over a little ways over here. That's perfectly fine. He can only hang over that much. So we'll go and put in a plantation. Cool, now we have that. So there's 1 of 2. And again, we don't have room on the other side, so we're probably going to have... Well, maybe there is. Hey, there's just enough room for a plantation. Perfect. Alright, now that we got that built, we are going to have to put in a woodcutter station. So underneath the processing, of course, we have the woodcutter station. And let's go ahead and put that guy right in between these 2. He can also go over here if need be. You can put him pretty much anywhere you want to. That's will let you. The closer to the building, the better. Okay, we'll put that guy in right there. Be a woodcutter station. So the woodcutter station, it gets wood from this plantation. Because a plantation, it is doing 6 wood and then 10 seed buckthorn. Which if you scroll down here and then you go to the right, you can see the 94 buckthorn and then the wood and the planks. So that's where all that's getting from. The planks are being made in the woodcutter thing over here. So that's one of the good things. Kind of got myself twisted around. So it's taking these wood and it is turning it into planks. Now, we need to click the build button above the tower body to construct a regular tower layer. So we got to do that. Now, if you want to make stuff, there's only 1 worker, and we'll get to more workers here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and let's go to this right here. Construct a tower layer. Click to select a construction plan. So we're going to do this, and there are some things that we can do. We can do an island, or we can do a courtyard, or we can do a boat. And this one right down here I do believe is already an island as far as I can tell from the looks of it. So let's go ahead and let's do a... We don't have any cactus, so we can't really do it because there's no cactus down here. So we're definitely gonna have to do a courtyard. So we'll just do a courtyard, and you can also rotate the courtyard by you pressing R. It says right there, press R to rotate. So you can have it go any way that you would like to. And if you use these buttons here, you can slide it over a little bit. So if you wanted to hang over a little bit on each side, you can do that. So that way it can look like that. And then you can have some cool things hanging over. You can go any way that you want to. And what I might do is actually... There we go, have it hang off all the ways and not be flush with anything. So that way that kind of gives it a little interesting aesthetic. Now, once that is done, you just press confirm construction. And now we are going to be having this courtyard done up here. It'll take them a quick minute to get that built. Okay, cool. Rescue or resources cannot be shared. Let me just close that. Resources cannot be shared between layers, but can be moved by porters. Set the minimum number of porters to 3. So right down here, these are the porters, and you just click on the button so that way you have 3. and then build 2 huts to increase the population and wait for the population to reach 16. So now we need to build huts. So that's where we go to here, and then we can go to this now. So the residence is open, and now we can begin building huts. And you can put them pretty much anywhere, just like on the first floor, but you got to remember that you can only stack stuff so high unless you want to have things in the way of other things. So do keep that in mind if you are playing this. I am going to put one right there, and I don't know, I cannot put another one next to it because there's just not enough room. I think I'm going to go and put one over here. Okay, the porters are bringing up the goods from the lower level. Okay, so we got that. Now we need to wait for the population to go up to 16. It's now up to 16, and there's 16 of 18. Build more dew collectors until the total reaches 12. So we only have 6. So now we need more dew collectors. And we can put dew collectors again anywhere that you want to. So I'm going to go and place 6 more, and then we will come back once that is done. Okay, just got done placing the last one of the dew collectors. Now we just need to wait and then open the jobs priority menu and drag the word cutter station to the top of the list to secure the supply of building materials. So it says not enough workers, so you click on the jobs down here, and the more you drag these, the more the workers you have. So the dew collectors have a lot of workers. If I move this up to here, then you can see that I can take that, and then I can actually have more workers. Dew collectors are doing actually really good. They are making a lot of dew, so that is good. And if I just move that like that, then the plantation will be making a lot of stuff. So the plantation is short on this layer, will be marked in red. So the shortages are red, and there are storms that'll happen, and it will take a lot of resources away, but then after the storm things will come back. Okay, so that's now done. And then need to build a dust collector and start collecting dust. So that's the thing, as you do more stuff keeps on needing to be built, and you can, keep on adding a lot of stuff, a whopping lot of stuff. There's tons of stuff to add here. I've only really scratched the surface when I was playing. I was doing a little bit. I'm going to put it on this corner so I can build it right out here on this corner between these two. So I am just going to go ahead and do that. So that dust collector's right there between those things, the dew collectors. That's going to help get some dust. And that's the stuff blowing here. It's all the dust. You can kind of see it blowing in the wind. Dust blowing in the wind. So there is that. I believe that was Kansas song. So if you want to see, you can always go to the layers and you can see the different layers if you have to get in the right place to see them. Let me just go and get rid of that. And we should be able to see different layers. It is kind of hard to do, but you can do it. I don't remember how to do that right now, but we will get to that soon. Okay, dust collectors start collecting dust. After selecting building, its production efficiency in each layer will be displayed on the right side. So what we're going to have to do is the jobs. We're going to have to take that dust collector and move him up 1. There we go. The plantation can actually come down 1 for now, and then the dust collector can start collecting a lot of dust, which is right there. Build a research station, and then open the technology menu and research the sand brick. So we got that. Let's go to processing, actually down here, research, and let's put in a research station. These guys are kind of a pain because they're taller than the actual thing that you built, the layer that you built. So you need to place them in a good place so that way you don't have to worry about, blocking things or whatever. So I'm just going to go and see about placing it right over here on this side as close as I can to this dew collector right over here. Right there. Okay. Then you can see these are short sources, so we're probably going to have to actually put in a plantation because we got to have that kind of stuff if we're going to make other things. And that's the thing, you got to keep on, adding stuff to make stuff. Okay, I'm going to move that guy over as far as I can. I'm going to make sure that he is There we go. He's on that level, and that's as far over as I can put him. So he is hanging over a little ways, and that's perfectly fine. As long as they're not too far over, because things will happen like dust storms. You don't want things ruined. You can see there's all kinds of other things out here, like creatures and that, and I think we can interact with those a little bit later. Okay, so now we need to go to the technology menu. We probably ought to put in some more houses before we do anything else. Right now, we'll get a hut going. I want to put the huts over here on this side, so I'm just going to go ahead and build a hut there. And there we go, build a hut over here. And I'll put one more hut in right there, so that way we have a lot of people here. Okay, so once that's done, then we need to go to the technology tree, and we need to see if we can open that up. That's T. So right now we need to research sand brick right here, and then we also have cactus plantation. So let's do sand brick, and then we are going to research. Now, that's going to show up over here. If we go down to the jobs and then we take our research station and we move it up just a little bit, then that's going to start going up here in the upper right, and then that will get us a whole bunch of research, and then we can start doing stuff. I'm going to move that up a little bit more just to try to get it going a little bit faster. I don't think it's going to make any difference as long as there are 2 of 2 jobs, then that is really what matters. And the dew collectors and everything are working just fine. This guy will be at 100%, and then we'll have the sand brick. Okay, the sand brick should be coming. There it is. Research complete. So you can see that it says show this layer only, so we can go to this and then show this layer, or we can show the layer above it. So that's something just to keep in mind in case you want to see different layers. Now we can only see this layer, or we can see the layer above it, so you can see different layers. I think that's pretty interesting. Now that we have the research done, we can actually lower that one back down because there doesn't need to be anything researched for the time being, and then other jobs can be more important. You want to keep on moving that stuff around as much as you can so that we can keep jobs going. Now, that's done. So now we have that, and then that opens up glass technology, structural unit, and compact storage unit. Let's go ahead and do the cactus plantation. That's going to take 20 faith. This thing did not take any. It took 20 faith, okay, and 10 of the dust. This one is going to take 20 faith, and then 10 water and 10 dust. Let's go ahead and research it. Then, of course, we will go back to the jobs, and we will just go ahead and have that research station go up there. The sand brick factory can actually go up one. And if we have to, we can put it up one more too. So that way we have that. Let's go ahead and do this sand brick factory. We're going to take that and we're going to put that guy in so that we can have some sand brick coming. Because that's something that we really do want. Now the sand is also down from here on the dust collector. That thing's spinning right there. Let's go ahead and put that guy in right there. He should work good right there. There we go. Now we have the sand brick factory. Yay! Okay, that's done. This thing is 40% researched, and then we will have a lot more stuff coming here soon. Okay, open disaster panel in the bottom left to view the disaster details. So in the bottom left, right down here, disaster, sandstorm, countdown to next disaster will happen in about 45 seconds, and then it'll give you a timer for when the disaster is over. So we will be having a disaster here very shortly. Cactus plantation is almost done. Okay, that is now done. And if we go down here to the disaster, 18 seconds, that'll be coming, and then we will have a disaster that's going to happen. Okay, survive until the disaster ends, and it should be starting here in about 6 seconds. Then you'll see what happens. If you've seen my videos before on this, then you already know what happens. Sandstorm is approaching. Unstable structures may take damage. Let's hope you didn't build too far from the tower. Sandstorm is coming. It's the best opportunity to collect plentiful sand. Disaster shelter attributes significantly reduced. People from Down City hesitate to approach. No new tower citizens will be joining for now. Production buildings will be affected. Water becomes nearly unreachable, and sand will flood into the tower. Every time there's a disaster, stuff like this will come up. However, once the disaster is overcome, the morale of the tower citizens will rise. Then, if you want to know, Tower Citizen if endured the sandstorm, there is a thing here. So next disaster in 42 minutes, and it'll have the countdown for the whatever storm that there is, which right now we only know of those 4. There may be more later on. I don't know. So, aftermath. Thanks to the nature's gifts, the Tower Citizens managed to capture some items in the wind, which is 72 dust, 8 planks, 5 ore, and 1 fertilizer. From where, I don't know, but they have a fertilizer. Alright, research the Stone Eagle technology. So we need to go to the research, and we need to go to here, and we want to do the Stone Eagle technology. But we need the prerequisite technology because we need to have Stone Eagle Layer 1, Stone Eagle Layer 2. So I believe that we have to have one of these things here, or we have to have something built before we can do that. So we just gotta research stuff until we can get up to that point. So we can't research these things right now. Unlock Miracle Tower of the Stone Eagle and can only be built in the sand zone. Faith limit increases to 300 after construction. So what I'm thinking is we should probably see if there is something that we can put in. Let's go ahead. We don't have any of the cactus that I know of, not yet, because we need to have the plantation. Let me go see if the plantation is actually doing any of the cactus. It does not look like it. Okay. So switch product. We can go ahead and do the cactus. So now we're going to be getting a bunch of cactus. That way we can go to here. And then once we have the 20 of that, then we'll be able to have this to build, which is the boat. I'm going to go ahead and put a dust collector on this level as well, so that way we can get the dust going on here, because that's probably going to help us out the most. There is a little space there, but I think I'm going to try to see if I can squeeze it in somewhere. It's a fairly low place. I don't know exactly where we're going to be able to put it, but we will figure this out. I guess it could go right there and actually take up that little spot. Okay, we have that. Then, once we get that built, we'll be able to put some people to work there because we need some more jobs. Okay, he's making quite a bit of dust. That's going to help, and that's going to be the best. All right, so now we have all kinds of that. We do have this cactus now. Let's go ahead and let's do the boat, and let's go see about the boat. So I'm thinking maybe what I'm going to do is have that slid over a little bit like that. See how this thing is blocking this? So I'm not able to turn it a lot because it just isn't going to let me. But I can move it in different ways if I want to. But right now, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And there's a giant manta ray right there that you can see flying across the screen. So let's go and do that. We'll do that boat. Sweet. Now, we're running low on planks, but they will get more. Okay, research the Stone Eagle technology. Build a 2-layer high dust zone miracle tower. Okay, so we need to be able to figure out the miracle tower. That much, I don't know. I don't know how to do any of that, so that's going to be something we're going to have to look into. Let's go to T. So we should probably do glass technology. We do have the stuff that we need, and let's go ahead and research that. Okay, the glass is now done. I am putting in some other stuff. So I have a little bit of room here. I'm going to put the dust collector over there because I want the layers to have basically like the same things. Okay, there's a couple of huts. Maybe there's only... Yeah, there's 2 huts coming, so... That's okay, and then we'll have some stuff. So we're short on stuff here. So, you know, that's not the best. Now we're going to get this stuff going, and then we should be doing good. I'm just going to go ahead and take the research station down. We're going to move up the glassworks, and then we're going to see if we can perhaps do a glassworks factory. Okay, 1 labor. And then we need to figure out where we're going to put the glass work, so that way that can work out really good for us. We could put it right up over here, huh? Let's stick that probably on this side. Maybe have a stick over a little bit like that. I don't think we can. Yep, we can do it one more. We'll put the glass works right there. Okay. So now we're going to be making glass. Okay, we don't have enough materials for the glass works to be done, so our materials are a little bit low, as you can see right there. Now it's going to be done here very soon. It's just very slow, but once we do get that in, that's going to help out a lot. Should be having enough stuff. Okay. So we need a few more workers, or maybe stuff like, yeah, probably workers. So let me just go ahead and build another residence. I should be able to put a residence right about there. That should work. Okay, that's right over there. That'll help. Bring in some more people. Okay, now we have that. And then we're going to have to see about what we can do. So, I was looking underneath the technology. The morale is actually really high. That's awesome. That helps out so much. Look at that. They're all happy. They're very, very happy. Let's go to the technology. And now, because we did the glass technology, we can go to the stone eagle. And we should be able to... We need 10 glass. So now we need to figure out the glass. You can also get out of that by pressing escape if you need to. So right now, we have 4 whole pieces of glass. It's going to be a little bit before we have the 10 glass, but once we get that, that's going to be good, and we need water. I kind of wasn't thinking about that part right now, so let's just go ahead and let's put in a little bit of water for our peeps here, so that way they can, you know, have enough water to survive, because they are a little bit low. Do that, and maybe we'll see if we can put one in over somewhere here. We just want to make sure not to, you know, block anything else that we may want to potentially be putting in. So it looks like we do have the 10 glass that we need now. Let's go ahead and let's go to technology. And now let's go and see if we can do this here. We should be able to. We do need the cactus, and we do need the sea buckthorn. So we may have to put in a couple more things, but we will see what happens. Okay, close that. And we'll go find out. We will go ahead and go to the research, and we will make that guy go up a little bit. Okay, there we go. So that way we can begin researching that, and hopefully we will have enough stuff to be able to do that. So it is researching it. It's going to take a little bit, and then that will be done, and then we will have some more things going on. Okay, so it looks like we need some more of... We need another plantation so that we can get that cactus, and then we can have some more stuff going on. So let's just go ahead and put in another plantation if we can find a good place. Too small, we're going to have to set it in another area. Trying not to take up all the room of everything, but sometimes you just have to. Okay, that one's good. And maybe what I'm going to do is go and switch this to the cactus. And then this one can be the sea buckthorn, so that we have that. Okay, so now it looks like we're 46.7% towards that stone eagle, and then we should be doing pretty good at that point. One thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, my apologies, is the game is in early access. It came out on the 25th, I want to say, of September, so it is out, and you can get it for yourself if you would like to. I will look at the price to see what it is, and I will let you know. So this game is $13.99, and that is before the sale. Sale ends the 6th on Steam, so it looks like $12.59 or something like that, like 10% off or something. So, you know, it's not like super expensive or anything, but this is in early access, so it's just barely come out, and they've already had, I think, an update or two already for it, so that's pretty good. Now, we do have some really good stuff going on. The Eagle is 85% researched, so we're moving along pretty good right now. And I have in everything that I can get in, so we're just going to wait. And the next disaster will be 28 minutes away. The Stone Eagle is 98% researched, so it will be coming in. There it is right there. Probably need to put in a couple of more things just to give some jobs to some people. Keep that stuff rolling in. You never know when you're going to need some more. And you can actually add stuff to other areas if you do it right. You just got to kind of be lucky more than anything and understand how the game works, which I am still out trying to understand the game. I really like that saw. I think that's pretty awesome. I love the way the saw works. That looks really cool. Then it tells you what you're doing, what you're getting. I really do like some of the way that you can, you know, zoom in on things and really see how things are working. Like the dust collector back there, you can really see the dust flying back there. I think that's really, really cool. So, we have got that done. Now, build a two-layer high dust zone miracle tower, Stone Eagle. Since we have that done, then now we do have the headland and the terrace, the boat, the courtyard, and the island. And then there's a miracle here, which is a Stone Eagle Layer 1 and Stone Eagle Layer 2. So there's going to be quite a bit of stuff that we're going to need for that. We're going to need a lot of glass, which means we need a glassworks factory on this level. So let's go ahead and let's put that stuff in, and then we'll worry about getting that built a little bit later, like next time. And then we can have some good things happening there. And let's close. There we go. We can put that in right there. That will give us the glassworks that we need, and then we should be doing pretty good. Oh, we already had a glassworks in there. How do you like that? So now we're going to be having even more. Let's go to our jobs, and let's just move the glassworks up. The dew collectors are fine. I'm going to take the research station all the way down. We don't need that. And then these other jobs can start filling up, and then the jobs will become quite a bit higher, and that's going to be the best. Let's just go ahead and make sure that we keep stuff up. So I want to make sure everything can go quite a bit higher. Plantation can actually be moved down a little bit. And there we go. Because we do have quite a bit of wood. We actually don't have a lot of wood. That'll help. Okay. Woodcutter station. I want to get some things going so that we can keep things going, because that's kind of important. So you can see that we're just doing like management basically and building pieces for our people, our tower citizens, and we can get those stone things going here really soon. Unfulfilled wish. Cease of sandstorms. Say the Stone Eagle becomes the eye of a whirlwind, weakening sandstorms. I hope to move on to a Stone Eagle once it's built. I really don't want to eat sand anymore. So, cancel. We do not want to like get rid of that wish. So I'm just going to go ahead and close that, so that way we have that unfulfilled wish. So we really do need to good weather for hide and seek. Get that built so we can actually have that going, because that's going to be quite a bit, and that's going to be a lot of fun to actually try to do. So you can see to take 50 of that, or maybe it's just 25 all told. I'm not too sure, but that should be pretty interesting to try to do. We will work on that next time, and this is Stario Haven Tower. Thank you for joining me here. If you've enjoyed this episode, drop a like on the video. We will bake that thing, the Stone Eagle, 2-part, and then we will see what we have to do after that and continue building our tower up. We're only like 3 levels up, but there's a giant whale right there. How do you like that? That is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a giant whale like that, especially in the sky. That's just nuts. Anyway, if you enjoyed the episode, drop a like on the video, and I will talk to you next time. You have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.